Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Michael Patmos, and I am trying my best to fight the false information that's put out by the anti-vaxxers about everything that they talk about. I've been doing this for since I was in medical school 50 years ago. And the reason why I became passionate about uh, vaccine quackery is because I remember vividly being a medical student. I think I might have been in my first or second year of medical school, and I was assigned to spend a week with a doctor in Carson City, Nevada. And I remember it well. He was a very good doctor, a hematologist, oncologist, and internal medicine doctor. And his name was Dr. Rex Baggett. I still remember his name. I'm sure he's long gone now. That was almost 50 years ago. But in my rotation with Dr. Baggett, I was assigned to see a patient in the ICU. And I remember going into the ICU to evaluate this patient and look at his chart and take the history and physical and kind of prepare an assessment. And the man was 26 or 27 years old. He was on a ventilator and he had pneumonia following influenza. He had influenza pneumonia, probably with secondary bacterial pneumonia as well on top of it, which is what happens. And I remember he was built like a linebacker. The guy had a physique like a football player. He was very muscular. The reason why was because he was a bricklayer, a rock, a concrete mason. So did hard physical work. And I evaluated him and followed him every day, like medical students do. And he deteriorated pretty quickly, and over the span of a couple of days, he succumbed. And I had to go to the waiting room and with the attending physician and tell the family. And he was in the waiting room was his young wife with a couple of children, ages like a baby and a 2 year old and a 3 year old. I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago, but these were little kids and a young mom, young wife. And when she was told that her husband had died, the the shriek that she let out, I'll never forget the pain that she felt was so unbearable to watch. And as she sobbed and wept, she looked up and she said, "How could he was so?" Her exact words are burned in my memory. I'll never forget them. How could he die of the flu? He was so strong, and I remember that, because it was, how could he die of the flu? He was a strong dude, because influenza doesn't care. If you know anything about the Spanish flu of 1918 to 1920, it killed young, healthy men in the greatest numbers of all. So, young, healthy people do die of influenza. And that is how my passion about vaccination was was started. It turned out that this man had not been vaccinated for influenza. There were influenza vaccines back then. This was right just after the swine flu situation, and a lot of people were reluctant to get flu vaccines. And I had to get one because I worked in a hospital. I was a medical student. We were required. And this man didn't have a flu vaccine. He got influenza and he died. And I remember the anguish of his wife, and that I decided at that time I was not going to be passive and allow people to have misinformation about vaccination. So for the past 50 years, this is what I have been doing, and it's been very frustrating because um, we were having some success containing it until COVID came along and Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy, Robert Malone, Peter McCullough, and the other anti vaxxers have really had tremendous success convincing you that vaccines are bad and that messenger RNA vaccines are bad. And now we've blocked research on messenger RNA. We've got an anti vaxxer running Health and Human Services. The entire federal government is populated by anti vax physicians. And as you know from my other posts, they're not qualified. In any case, this is what I'm passionate about. So what I'm introducing to you now is I'm trying to be smarter about how I use this Substack and how I use my Pod TV podcasts and to reach a larger audience. We're struggling to fight against anti-vax misinformation, and it's really hard when the Secretary of Health and Human Services is the world's worst anti-vaxxer, and he has got his people in power. So we have to do more. There are other people out there who fight against anti-vax quackery, and they do a wonderful job. I don't criticize them. I appreciate what they do. Dr. Paul Offit does an outstanding job. Dr. Caitlin Yedalina does an outstanding job. But very often they take, I think, a little bit more of a genteel approach. I want to take a little bit more of a in your face approach. Not with the people. I'm not attacking the people who believe this stuff. They're victims. My target is to go after those who present the misinformation and expose them. It is the fake experts who are my target. And with them, I don't want to be genteel. Many of them are frauds. They have fraudulent resumes and resumes that lack crucial information. And they have exaggerated and embellished their credentials. And many of them have been disciplined and stripped of their board certification and loss of license and so forth. These are not top tier doctors, yet they're in power positions of power. So my goal is to expose these sources of misinformation and show what they got wrong, why they're getting it wrong, how they're misleading you. If you believe anti-vax stuff, I'm not mad at you. You're the victim. I'm trying to help you understand how you've been lied to and manipulated. So this is where I'm going with this Substack. If you enjoy it, please, subscribe and share it with others. I am not doing this to try to make money. Unlike the anti-vaxxers who have Substacks, I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to share and spread the truth. And so if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, please feel free to add them. So welcome to the new and improved version of Just the Facts.